This is GM's research and design center as it was in the 1950s. By the time this building was constructed, GM already enjoyed decades of concept car experience. From the very beginning, concept cars were a mixture of razzmatazz, showbiz and technology. This 1956 photo shows the Chevrolet Impala up front and the Buick Centurion at the back. The 1938 White Jock was GM's very first dream car. Even then they called it a laboratory on wheels to pre-test customer reaction. The XP300 appeared after a break for World War II. Its supercharger and adjustable steering wheel and seats later became standard features. But in 1950, the car the crowds fell in love with was Le Sabre. At the time, American F-86 Sabre jets were battling MiGs in Korea. Curved windscreens, fins, pretty girls, fighter aircraft and sex together would inspire many a dream car to come. (1953) saw the first fiberglass-bodied Corvette. Later it would become a production model and a classic. Unashamedly influenced by yet another jet fighter, the Douglas Skyray, came Firebird 1. It was the first gas turbine-powered passenger car built and tested in the United States. Introduced in 1954 and exhibited throughout the US, Canada and Europe, the car thrilled millions. That's Harley J. Earl, GM Vice President of Styling, who was responsible for many concept cars including the Firebird project. The Firebird 3, launched by General Motors in 1958, meant that every American could be a fighter ace just by driving to work. This was one of the most seen and successful concept cars ever. Its array of futuristic gadgetry astonished car-crazy Move right, Firebird turns right. Left, Firebird turns left. Back, Firebird eases to a stop. There existed no mechanical idle chatter for turbine-powered aces. Here they are as they were, the three Firebirds. In all the hype, two words were rarely heard: safety and economy. These cars were designed and... 1955 saw the introduction of the Cadillac Eldorado Brougham and dual headlamps. Those pointed bumpers were dubbed Dagmars, after a well-endowed TV hostess. Aerospace again in 1957 with Oldsmobile's Golden Rocket. The New York World's Fair in 1964 saw this three-wheeled family concept, the runabout. Like the shopping cart, it seems more science fiction than science. Firebird 4 also made an appearance. GM still envisioned a future of cars safely speeding along automatic highways. But just a touch in Tesco's car park could prove nasty for this performance-oriented GMX. In 1965, this Bison was depicted as the future shape of heavy-duty lorries. It cruised on 280 horsepower, but for hills 720 more could cut in. Amongst many innovations was an electronic systems monitor, a feature which would become common in the 1990s. Fighter aircraft still dominated design considerations in the early 1970s. But just one decade later, GM were looking to move people by new, cheap and efficient means, both fossil-fueled and electric. Aero-X was typical of the 1980s. Fiberglass body, computer designed for safety, fuel efficiency and aerodynamics, a long way from Firebird.